Hey y'all, thank you for tuning in to Carolina Food Desert today. It's May 16th. It's a beautiful sunny Saturday morning. Full sun, not a cloud in the sky. Most of the plants are wilting. I might have to resort to using city water on my garden for the third time this year. I maintain a garden 365 days a year. I try to use city chlorinated tap water as few days as possible. Generally collecting rainwater, relying on the rain, planting drought-tolerant crops, selecting for drought-tolerant crops and saving seed year after year, utilizing mulch and other strategies to retain moisture in the soil, the root zone where it's needed. But today might be the third day this year of the 135 days I've been growing vegetables so far this year. Today may be the third day that I resort to using city water. But today is also a good day, as I'll be harvesting some blue potatoes today. We've finished cleaning out this plot here where the Alaska peas had taken over and were shading out everything. And now we'll be able to replant some things like purple jalapenos and maybe some watermelons here. I'm really excited about the blue potatoes. So we talked about potatoes, Solanum tuberosum, nightshade, starchy tuber vegetable, extremely easy to grow, great food security crop. I don't know if you can really see the blue-purple color there, but put it on a white background trying to bring that out. So we'll be digging some new potatoes from around the soil and some of the larger plants. And then I also have this blue potato plant in this pot here. And I think I'm just going to take this and just dump it out and just see how many potatoes we have in here. I imagine we'll find a whole lot of blue potatoes. So I think some of these might be overripe. It looks like they're already starting to sprout. You can see the sprouts on some of these. So I probably should have harvested these potatoes a couple weeks ago. But most of them will probably be alright. A nice blue potato. Another little tiny one. So we'll probably get about a dozen little blue fingerling potatoes off of this plant here. And then we got about 10 or 12 other large blue potato plants in the ground. Up. You feel some more. It's still kind of heavy. There's got to be some more potatoes in this soil. I'll dig for those later. But yeah, so just in this one small pot here with just a little bit of cheap potting soil, we got a dozen or so blue potatoes. I don't know if y'all can see the color here, but I'm digging some of these new blue potatoes from near the surface of these large blue potato plants here that are grown in some very lightweight compost that I mainly amend with liquid fertilizers like the Alaska fish emulsion. Generally get the lightest weight compost I can find for growing potatoes so that they have plenty of room to expand for tubers. A lot of times the real lightweight composts are mainly composed of things like composted pine fines and pine bark, and it's almost like sawdust, and it's not particularly nutrient dense, so the plants get chlorotic and yellow real quick. Start to see that nitrogen deficiency, so I supplement with some things like fish emulsion. But I'll probably dig 5 or 6 of these blue potatoes here from around the top of each one of these plants, and then in a few weeks I'll come back and just pull the whole plant up and get the larger tubers underneath. So tomorrow I'm going to be cooking up the blue potatoes, all of these snap peas here. I have some yellow carrots, also that UFO squash we were looking at the beginning of the video. Those UFO squashes are pretty cool. French scallop squashes or whatnot. This one's the Pattison et al. Blanc something or other. Yeah, you can see everything's wilting, so I probably am going to have to turn on the city water. Although the purple tomatillos seem to be very drought tolerant. I set up a new drought tolerance plot the other day with some things like peppers and tomatillos and eggplant. But you can see the tomatoes and the UFO squash are wilting. I also saw the first flowers on the watermelon this year, which is early. Oh, here's my ancient watermelon coming out good in that okra plot. The sunflowers are getting about 4 feet tall now, and some corn and beans in there. So here we got our first watermelon flower on this ancient watermelon here. I think it's pretty early in the season to have a watermelon plant that large, direct seed outdoors. Pretty proud of these two. My cantaloupe's been flowering for almost a month now. Should be seeing some fruits on those pretty soon. Spinach in there. Cantaloupe doing pretty good, although I found some aphids on there recently. Yeah, so we'll probably get, I don't know, 30 or 40 blue potatoes off of 8 or 10 plants, maybe a little bit more. Throw those in the oven tomorrow with some onions and some carrots and maybe some of these kale greens here and some of that squash. Purple pole beans getting tall. Got some rice planted now. Strawberries are about done for the year. Call them June bearing strawberries. It's not even June yet and they're already finished. Yeah, lots of work to do out here. Check in with y'all next week. So on the heirloom French cantaloupes here, we have these invasive Argentine sugar ants, and they're hurting the green aphid. The green aphid is able to feed off of the plants and extrude some type of soluble sugar-rich exudate that the sugar ants can then feed on. So the ants are ranching or hurting the aphids here on my French cantaloupe plants. I've just been picking off the leaves where the population density aphids is high. I don't want to spray anything out here, but it's an odd tritrophic interaction. But in other news, we got some team tendrils here. I can see these purple potted pole beans and the watermelon tendrils are growing together there. That's kind of interesting. But hopefully we'll have some French cantaloupe fruit setting pretty soon, and then a few weeks later some watermelon fruit setting. And hopefully less aphid problems, just more predators.